I guess the talking point that I guess ties into this is Finn O'Sullivan, and he was missing again on the weekend due to a hip flexor injury. Now, we talked about Jagger Smith and Levi Ashcroft and how they were able to break the tag, and we're constantly in dialogue about where they're sitting this year. The dialogue has been more limited with Finn O'Sullivan as a result of these injuries. I'll let you kick off how you see his injuries in relation to the pick one talks. Can he still go pick one despite the injuries, which are ultimately not soft tissue? They're just contact injuries that continue to build up, but we just haven't seen him much this year.
Well, I think no now, because, well, like you said, if they're contact injuries, well, it's only going to get worse, won't it? You're going to go against bigger bodies.
I don't know. To me, I'd prefer it to be contact injuries than soft tissue, because soft tissue is something that's going to plague you in the long term, clearly.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess if you had to draft him off what he's done, I mean, even his country was really average. So if I were to make that statement, you'd be like, well, no, even his country was pretty average. So you're really taking the first... Did he even play at the start of the year, now that I think back?
He did. He did. Played a couple of games.
He's played against Sandy, which, that was a draftable game. Not that he's in that position where he needs to have one. But I don't know. I'd say no. I think you're taking a clear risk. I don't know if it's just a matter of we need to be really careful not to long-term injury him at the back of this year.
Yeah, and they have been cautious. Like Oakley's been up front, that they've been taking the cautious approach with him. But
my answer is no. I don't think you can anymore. There's just something a bit, I don't know, iffy in the air just about it. I don't know.
Just as a result of the injuries.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think what it's done is, I'm not willing to say yes or no, probably clearly at this point, but I think what the injuries have done is they've made what should have been a safe pick at number one a very, very dangerous pick. Yeah. So I think coming into the season, Finn O'Sullivan was the safe pick because he had no weaknesses. That was how he was branded coming into the season. If he produced what we expected him to produce this season, we would have been talking about him as that player that has a little bit of everything. He doesn't necessarily have the size or the scope of someone like a Josh Smiley, but his ability to turn a game in 10 minutes, we saw it against Sandy. And I think that Sandy performance was really important. And I think his VFL game for Richmond was also instrumental to show that he does have the ability to do it and to remind everyone that he can do it. And it wasn't just strong form as a bottom major, but all of those attributes still exist. And when he does get a clear run at it, his upside is as high as anyone's in the draft. So I think he's still there or thereabouts. I think had Josh Smiley had an outstanding season, he wouldn't go pick one, because Josh Smiley would go pick one as a result of just those attributes being powerful and big. Because there are now question marks over Josh Smiley and Jagger Smith as well being the size that he is, and obviously Harvey Langford's always going to have the speed question marks. I think everyone now has question marks, and that's what's created this intrigue. So that's probably how I read the situation. It's not a very linear answer. It's not a yes or no. There's a lot of greys, what ifs and buts. But I'd still lean towards Jagger as being a safer pick.
I don't disagree with what you say there. It's very fair points. I'm just going off. I don't know. Maybe I'm just frustrated because he's such a good talent. It's frustrating not seeing him being able to produce that